can shift gears here to talk a little bit about memory. Can you explain for any listeners when memory is unimpaired, generally, although it's a complex process, how does memory work?
So just to begin with, I wrote this book. I took a little departure from my novel writing gig to write this book about memory because I was finding that in talking about Alzheimer's to people all over the world, what I found was after every event, people would wait for me in the book signing line, or women would corner me in the ladies' room and pepper me with all of these memory problems they're having, all of these
Oh,
moments of forgetting that they're convinced that I'm about to diagnose them with Alzheimer's in the bathroom. And what people were bringing to me without fail was all normal.
mm,
And I'm like, people don't know how memory works. And also, people have this expectation that it's supposed to be perfect, that we're supposed to remember everything. And so when people forget anything, especially over the age of 40, they start worrying and thinking like, oh my God, this means I have a terrible memory. I have a weak memory. I have memory impairment. I have dementia. I have Alzheimer's. Like they just go down. It just, and the anxiety is not good for us. Like there's so much to be stressed about in this world, and normal forgetting shouldn't be one of those things. So I'm like, okay, I need to write a book that's very conversational and very easy. Like this is not, a PhD program level like academic textbook. It's thin, you'll see it. This is not a big treatise. It's a small book, but it should feel like a friendly conversation with a friend about how memory works, and your friend just happens to be a neuroscientist who can tell you the story. So how does memory work? So in a nutshell, actually, we remember, this is what we remember. Ready? Our human brains are designed to remember what's meaningful, emotional, surprising or new, and what we repeat in practice. It forgets everything else. And so actually all of those things was interesting. If it's meaningful, emotional, surprising, new, or if we're repeating it and practicing it, kind of the common denominator for all of those is you're paying attention to it. The first necessary ingredient in creating a memory that's going to last longer than this present moment is attention. So this is why most of your things go missing. Like if you're like, oh my God, I'm always forgetting where I left my glasses, or where did I put my phone, or where are my keys, or oh my God, where did I park the car? Like 99% of the time, I'm sure it's because you didn't pay attention to where you put it before you zipped off and did 12 other
right.
things. So you didn't actually make a memory of something to forget. You never involved your memory. Your brain takes in the sights, the sounds, smells, the taste, the emotion, the meaning of whatever you perceived and paid attention to, translates that into neurological language. Then your brain, the hippocampus, it's a part of your brain, then takes all of that separate neural activity, sight, sound, meaning, emotion, and links it together into a single circuit. So it links all of those separate neural activities into a single pattern of associated neural connections. And then it's made stable over time so that you can then retrieve that by activating it. You can activate it tomorrow, next week, 30 years from now, and you'll remember what happened or remember what you learned. Our brains forget anything that's not meaningful, emotional, surprising, new, or what we practice. So think about what that means. Our day-to-day lives are spent doing routine, predictable things.
Right.
So we don't remember most of our lives, people. Like people are always so worried, like, oh my God, what if my memories, I can't remember things very well. It's like, well, if you think about it, you probably are remembering what you need to remember. If you're paying attention to it, you're probably remembering it. We don't remember most of our own lives. We get up, we drink coffee, we're dressed, we go to work, we email, social media. And I say this is why people felt foggy after the pandemic, like cognitively foggy. One of the reasons is like we remember the beginning, right? When it was like, oh my God, there's no toilet paper, and will I die if I go to the grocery store? Oh my God, all these kids are home from school and everything's different. Everything's new, surprising, emotional. We're a little scared, right? It's like, woo, those first few weeks of pandemic are memorable. But then for most of us, if you weren't a healthcare worker, or if someone didn't die in your family, like if you made it through the pandemic, just, isolating. And so you stayed home, the menu of experiences that you were used to shrunk down to, very few items. It was the same old, same old. Tuesdays felt like Saturdays, and we don't remember what's same old, same old. So sameness is the kiss of death to memory.
Yeah.
If you want to remember more of what's going on in your life, you have to experience new things. This is why we remember vacations really well. Those are new sights and experiences you've never had before. You tend to take a lot of pictures. while you're on vacation, and these give you opportunities to
Doing-
revisit them and reminisce. And when you do that, you're reactivating the neural pathways of those memories. You're making them stronger. So that's like practice, right? So if you're practicing the piano or a golf swing, you get better with practice. Those examples, by the way, are muscle memory. They don't live in your muscles. They live, the memorized choreography is in your brain, and those neurons tell your muscles what to do. So repeating helps. But yeah, we forget most of our lives, and that's okay.